Yeah, Scotty, you can take the bat. Like, you can lead off. You'll talk first.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. How's everyone doing?
What's up, Dojo fam?
Let me know if you can hear us okay. If you can, I'll fix some stuff around. I'll fix some stuff. The music is quite loud. Yeah. Let me go ahead and lower that all the way pretty much.
Scotty,
Yeah.
you have one thing to do and you're already messing it
One
up.
thing to do, and I already messed it up. It sounds about. It's exactly what my wife says. All right. Everyone, yeah, hi. So, I'm Scotty. Uh, there's a lot of things you can call me. I go by SM Pooh Bear on stream, and this is Charlie.
What's up, guys? It's nice to see everybody. I see Drew and my buddy Muhammad and Mitch and everybody in the Dojo fam. It's nice to see everybody.
And if you don't know who this is above us, that's International Master Kosei Kabutsky. He looks kind of familiar. Um, but anyway, so um, Charlie and I, just to let you all know what we're doing here, came up with an idea for a show where it's just us two kind of hanging out, playing chess against people, doing puzzles, and just trying to improve. So adult chess improvers right here, and throughout every month, 2 months, or whenever, we're gonna get a coaching session from Kostya or potentially one of the other senseis that truly hasn't been decided. But Kostya is gonna take us through Russian schoolboy chess. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, we're gonna do some Soviet school
There you go.
style training. That's right.
Yeah, a lot of yelling, a lot of smacking pieces off the board. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And Charlie, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I think one thing that might make us a little different than some just generic people streaming chess or as adult improvers is we're hoping that you guys can pick up on perhaps some of the reflection skills that we might use or just different strategies on how to improve um, with more goal oriented frameworks or set of mind. And that way you're not just spamming games or spamming what you're doing, but you actually have a strategy and a path that you put yourself on, so you know you'll be successful in the long run instead of just randomly every day you're like, oh, I'm going to do chess today. Well, you'll spend half the time just thinking about how you're going to improve on chess instead of actually improving on chess. So I think that's the big tip you can take away from our show.
Yeah. And Kostya, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, guys. Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me. I'm really excited to be working with you and hopefully giving you some sense of direction. I know people are wondering, like, what is the Soviet School of Chess? Like, what does that even mean? There was never any like one physical location, like one Soviet School of Chess. It was always just like a number of different schools. Like Botvinnik had his own school of chess. Petrosian, I think, had a school. There were schools in Ukraine, kind of all over the Soviet Union. But there are, I think, some like key elements that all these different coaches and schools shared. And so my idea for helping you guys is to kind of instill like good chess habits that hopefully you guys can use, when I'm not here, when I'm not with you, watching over you. So some of these good habits include, for example, like thinking ahead, not rushing to make the first move you see, but rather like thinking through your options and trying to see a little bit further. Sorry, that's me. I'm in Baltimore visiting Jesse. Um, sorry.
That was perfect. I was like, Jesse's with him.
And so what I'm gonna do when I'm with you guys is we're gonna usually start off with some puzzles, some warm up, so I can kind of get a sense for your guys' calculation skill as well as your visualization, just to do a little bit of an assessment each time and maybe pick out some key sticking points when it comes to your thinking process. And for each of the shows that I join you for, I would also like to work with you one end game. So every time I'm here, we'll study kind of one fundamental end game. I'll have you guys practice it, play both sides a couple times because that's very important. Because this has often been like a big part of the Soviet chess school is like focusing on the end game. And it's something that I think is really important. I mean, I think for all players, we often see games that start off, let's say, normally, and then once they get into the end game, things kind of devolved, back and forth to just mistakes from both sides and so on. So hopefully we'll kind of like start strengthening your end games little by little so that when you guys do reach the end game, you have some kind of solid ground to stand on. And yeah, I guess we should start off. Let me ask you guys, like what are some of your goals for your chess training? What are you trying to achieve?
Adi?
Yeah, go ahead, Charlie. You go first.
Me? Well, I think it's important to be realistic, as especially the adults in chat, when you have families and careers. Like, you have to know the month that you're in. What is it? How are you realistically going to either grow, maintain, or not grow and actually get worse? So right now I'm in the summer. It's the first time I've been home since COVID. It's actually a lot harder when I'm not a teacher with a huge, hour and a half lunch break and teaching via Zoom online where I can secretly have the Twitch open in the background. Like, it's going to be harder to improve, especially during the summer. So my short-term goal is just to maintain for the summer. But obviously I want to keep improving long-term. But I think a huge thing that all of us have to keep in mind is I want to try to keep on having a growth mindset and realizing that while I'm improving, my rating points might grow. They might go down, but in the end, that's not like a absolute value that I give myself in my chess skill or who I am as a person or whatever you want to think. Like, I just want to keep on having fun, meeting great people. When Dubai, where I'm moving, I heard they have a great chess community. Hopefully I can play some OTB there, represent the dojo in Dubai. And I just want to keep on being active in the chess dojo community. It's a really great place. And I feel like it's kind of like Cheers. Everybody knows everyone's name. Everybody sees each other when you come through the door. And we all seen so many of us improve drastically. But I know just because I've improved at the beginner stages, just like music or anything, those plateaus are really what make and break you. That's where people give up, is they stop improving. So they're like, oh, chess isn't for me. But it's actually just a standard procedure of improving on something. Is getting over those dips.
Very cool.
Yeah. So my goals, I'm more of like kind of shoot for the stars kind of guy. So I'm going by my hopes are to reach 1700 by the end of the year. And also I'd like to participate in a Vegas what happened last month. Yeah, I'd like to participate in one of those, and hopefully in Vegas as well, where I travel. It's not just something local. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, maybe in December there's going to be a big Vegas Open.
So.
You can partake.
But I
so I'll tell you
have a
guys.
baby on the way coming in August, so
Oh,
we'll see if the wife lets me.
Scotty, didn't you say before this we were on Discord chat and you said your goal for the New Year's is what? What
1700.
rating?
1700.
I thought that's his year. I do 1400, feel great about myself, and this guy's shooting for 1700 like a thug. What is this?
Well, I'm much lower than you right now, but it's fine. It's my theory on improvement, and it works for me. But let's move on. Let's let Kostya start us on puzzles.
I'll tell you guys, like, I'm a big believer in effort goals and process goals. So I think it is good to have what I would call like an ambition. Like, my ambition is to make GM. Scotty, your ambition 1700. Just having some kind of like number, as not necessarily you have to reach this or you fail, but just something to like look forward to and something that kind of drives you in terms of your inspiration and your motivation. But I think that, yeah, the best goals to set are the ones that you are fully in control of. Like you can play the best game of chess ever and still lose because your opponent played somewhat better. And that's ultimately not really up to you. But something that is in your control, for example, is meeting once a week and doing your 2 hours of training,
Right.
doing your puzzle training for the day. It's totally in your power to sign up for tournaments or to like schedule training games. So I'm a big believer in setting these kinds of like effort goals for yourself because you never know where your rating will end up. But what you do know is that if you let's say create a training plan and stick to it, you will improve to some extent, right? How much is just totally up to the universe and out of any of our controls. But that is something that you can kind of do for yourselves. Okay, with that, yeah, let's get to the chessboard. And so for this first part, I'm just gonna warm you guys up with some tactical puzzles. I honestly don't have like a great idea of where you guys are in terms of your tactics. So some of these might be easy for you, might be hard for you. I'm not sure. We'll just see. What I would like you guys to do is to think silently so that you're thinking on your own, so not discussing, and write down your solution. So I think you guys both have pen and paper ready. Very good. And then once we're done, I'll give you guys something like maybe 5 minutes per problem. But the easier way would be to just let me know when you're done, when you think you've found the answer or whatever, and then we'll just review from there. And then I'll just for fun, I'll assign you guys either full credit or partial credit based on what you saw or didn't see, just to add a little bit of friendly competition to it.
Yeah. So it should be that same live board you sent us in Zoom chat, right?
That's right. I'm going to put the first position up there in just a sec.
Oh
And
man, I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie to do this all on. I
Dude,
love
Scott,
puzzles.
I've been in Plymouth, Mass for I haven't been in the chess world since basically I met the 1400 goal, and then it was like vacation mode. So
I know, but you played chess on stream before. I played 1 minute bullet last week. I'm a little nervous to do stuff like this on stream, but I'm excited. Let's do it.
guys, don't be nervous. It's all
come on,
good.
it's the Dojo Bros,
Um,
Scotty.
I will tell you guys because I'm a big believer in working on, let's say, specific things at a time. So
Sure.
my goal is not to like try to trick you guys, like give you a puzzle and it turns out there's no solution and anything you suggest is wrong. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I
I didn't
don't. I
even
just
think of
think
that.
I think there is a time and a place for it, but not when you're like first starting out. No, in fact, for these puzzles, I'll tell you guys, the solution will be very forcing, and specifically, every move in the answer is going to be a check. Okay.
God.
So you guys know. So this first part, we're just training your kind of like your awareness of forcing moves, your ability to look at the most forcing moves in the position, which are checks, and your ability to calculate the full variation. So visualization will of course be important as well. So hopefully that kind of eases you guys into it a little bit. Every move will be a check. So if you're looking at moves that aren't checks, you need to pause. Remember the instructions and realize, yeah, that you might not be looking in the right direction. Because for a chess game, a lot of times you have a very forcing solution and everything else is not as good. And it's important to kind of train yourself to just look at the most forcing moves first. If they work, you're done, right? You don't have to calculate anything else. So this is kind of like, yeah, I often think of it as just like a fire hose technique, just shooting straight forward without having to kind of like look around too much. Okay, let's put the first one on the board.
The hardest part is going to be just not talking out loud.
Right.
Yeah. Well, actually, I might interact with chat a little bit while you guys are solving. So maybe you guys can take your headphones out while you're doing this,
Yeah.
if that's cool.
Yeah. I have
I'm
you right
taking mine
here, so
out.
if you want to wave at me,
I'm also reading chat, just so people know. So
I'm
I can
not.
actually put the chat to the side.
Yeah, definitely don't read chat. This is white to play, white to play. All right, chat. Obviously, you guys feel free
Assuming it's white
to
to play, right?
white to play. That's right.
Okay.
You guys can solve along. These puzzles are not too hard, I would say, especially
But
given the
Scotty said
hint,
he's
right?
like
Every move is a check.
he's not showing me.
We'll see.
There's only one forcing check move, I think. So this is good.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in kind of like building up confidence. I don't think things should be kind of too hard from the get-go. Is it from Nun's game? I'm not sure. Let me see if I can. No, not John Nunn. This was played between kind of two unknown players in an open tournament a couple decades ago.
Not smart enough for this stuff.
Okay, a few people in chat have already solved this one, so nice job, guys.
Yo, put those headphones back on. I don't care.
All right, Scotty's done. We'll wait for
I
Charlie.
think. Oh no! Now I think I gotta hold on. Now I
Let's
just
put
read
'em on
chat and now I
anyways.
think it's wrong. Did I mess it up? Oh no.
Yeah, don't read chat until we go through the solution.
Yo, Scotty, you didn't solve this. Don't pretend you solved this.
I think so.
All right,
We'll
Charlie,
see.
you ready?
No, don't tell me the answer. I'd rather talk through our answers first.
Yeah, I wasn't going to. I just asked if you're ready to discuss.
Is it okay if I don't have a concrete answer yet?
No, that's not okay.
Is it okay if I didn't do my homework? No, I'm just kidding.
Take as much time as you need, to try to find the solution.
What happened is
Yeah.
you said everything was like going to be forcing moves or checks off the bat, but I don't think my first move would be a queen take. I don't think so. I don't know. I got confused.
Well, no, I meant what I said. Every move is a check.
Okay, so I know the first move, but I don't see the end game.
Okay, so take more time and try to figure it out all the way until the end.
Okay, maybe Scotty will make 1700 and I'll go back to 12.
Yeah, I'm reading chat now. Pumpkin. Yeah, that was the tricky one. That's the one that I almost didn't get.
Okay, so it sounds like you did get this one,
And on my
Scotty.
monitors.
Mhm.
Very cool.
I love puzzles. Like love puzzles.
Yeah, no, I know you mentioned your puzzle rating is pretty decent, like 2200 or so, right?
Almost, yeah, almost 2200.
Oh, and then-
I actually reset it and I started I started back up again and I'm almost at 2200 again.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you're talking about your puzzle rating, I see. I'm over 1800, but
All
not
right.
as high as you. So what's hard for me is I'm used to doing these puzzles on chess.com where I think about it and then I can move and I can actually see it. It's harder for me to like mentally in a real chess game. Actually, it's hard for me to do the mental prep like you need in a real chess game to like visualize and move the pieces in your head.
Yeah, you got to visualize, right? That's one of the things I don't love about the online tactics trainers is that they kind of push you to like just make the first move once you kind of have a intuition and then without really calculating. But in a game, you're not gonna you can't sack your queen without seeing all the way through, right? That would be suicide. Okay, do you feel like you've solved it, Charlie?
I think so. Yeah. Well, obviously the first play was the queen sack because it was the only forcing check move you suggested.
Good.
And then I could see the follow-up was going to be the rook.
Mhm.
And then the dark squared bishop was gonna, and then I had trouble mentally seeing was that the king, his diagonal was taking off and he was blocked in by his rook as well. So
let's practice using the coordinates because I think this is pretty important. So you want queen takes h7, king takes, rook h3 check. Then where does black play?
H3 check, and then black moves to the hold on, let me see. Now I'm second guessing myself. All right, so queen takes h7, king takes h7, rook takes h3, and then king to g7,
Mhm.
and then dark square bishop comes into h6.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's checkmate.
Not quite, almost there.
Oh, oh,
Almost there.
Scotty, you must feel great
Try to
outside.
visualize that position. Where can the king go?
I'm definitely trying to visualize. Um,
Scott, I know you saw
Queen.
this one, so we'll let Charlie finish it out.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, yes, Scotty. Yes, Scotty.
So if you have to redo the visualization just to get there again, that's totally fine.
I'm staring at it, trying to visualize it.
Mhm.
I need it. Never mind. I was going to say Adderall. I heard it worked in a show, but. This
while
hurts.
Charlie thinks about this really quick, I just want to say thanks Game Night 00 for the follow. Thanks Pleafers for the resub. And 7474, thanks for the subscription.
What is
Really
wrong with
appreciate
my
that.
head? So the can't go to f8 because the bishop's blocking that.
Mhm.
Oh, and then the queen. Oh, the bishop blocked the view of the h file from the rook.
Good. So keep
So
going. Where can the king go?
the king's gonna go back to h8.
Okay, and then I want you to just find mate in one from there.
Oh, you piece of crap. Why does this hurt me? I feel like I'm in pain.
You're good. You're stretching your visualization. It's very much like a muscle, right? When your muscle reaches kind of the limits that it can do, it starts to hurt a little bit. That's good. That's a good pain.
Okay, so this hurts. It's checkmate. He can't. So he's in the corner. The file's open. Wait, do I just back it up that diagonal? I can't see it anymore, but I was just thinking of bishop just takes on f6 to keep the diagonal. And then it's taken like this, the king's being double checked. So if he takes back with the queen or the knight, he's still going to be in check with the rook.
Well, let's keep in mind where is our bishop? Where did the bishop give a check? You can use the arrows on the board.
I might overwhelm people. The last check was on h6.
So bishop is going to be on h6, right?
Oh yeah, I can't go to freaking f6.
Now you found the right idea. If you move the bishop anywhere, you have this discovered.
Oh wait, no, he can't. He can't take this attack. So where do I want to move the bishop? Oh, do I go to f8?
Bravo, Charlie. Bravo. Very good. Bishop f8. You cover.
This is supposed to be an easy first puzzle, Kostya. An easy first puzzle. It is kind of easy. It's actually hard when you. It was kind of deeper than I normally think. I think without seeing the pieces move, is what I think it is.
I understand, but look. You can do it. You can visualize 4 moves ahead, right?
Yeah.
So just know that you can do this. Okay, it's a matter of finding the right moves. Of course, that's not easy, but just know that physically your visualization is capable of seeing.
Yeah. I believe it's capable.
Let's take a look. All right, we got queen takes, rook h3,
rook,
bishop h6, and then bishop f8. Now, Charlie, let me ask you, if I started you with this position and I said like white to play and win,
yeah,
how quickly do you think you would see bishop f8, just seeing this position in front of you?
Really fast.
Really
like
fast,
almost
right?
Instant.
Yeah, exactly, because it's basically just one move. It's just a matter of seeing the squares. So this is really just a question of visualization, right? This might be one of the main things I have you focus on in the future, is just being able to keep the position in your mind, because each of these moves, especially knowing, right, you're looking for checks, not the hardest moves to find. Like rook h3, bishop h6, and then this one you said, you would find as well. So if you're holding the position steady in your mind, then it shouldn't be too difficult to calculate. So the difficulty is just the visualization, keeping everything clear. So that's something that we'll kind of practice a little bit today, and hopefully give you a jump start for the future.
That's a really good assessment.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. So let's score this. Scotty, we already talked about it. You mentioned you found bishop f8. I'll give you full credit for this one. Charlie, you get 7.5 points because you got to bishop h6 check
What are the points out of?
out of 10.
100?
10 points per problem.
It's okay. To me, it's about the learning, not necessarily what the rate, like, you know, the point system. So cool.
That's right. These points are
arbitrary,
beyond worthless. I mean, I would say the puzzle rating is already not that important. This is even less.
Yeah, they're not channel points, guys. They're not channel points. Channel points worth something.
Okay, let's go to number 2.
I gotta beat Scotty here. I said that out loud. Sorry. How's the chat doing? I'm not even reading it.
And okay, this is again going to be white to play. Again, all checks. And yeah, you guys can go ahead and take your headphones out and start thinking.
I think I have it. Yeah, I don't think I can even need to take my headphones off.
Well, write down your answer, Charlie, but do take your headphones off in case I discuss with the chat.
Yeah. Oh, I was wrong. It wasn't so simple.
I think I got it.
Ready? Okay, cool. If you want, you can private message me in Zoom just to confirm.
Sure.
Or even just the last move. That's how the pros do it. They just give you the last move and then you understand that they see it. Last move is checkmate. Very good, Esther. No, Scotty, that's not the right last move. So you got to keep thinking.
Oh.
Yeah, check it.
Oh,
No, you're right. You're right.
oh.
All right. Yeah. Drummond got it. Offershot got it. Very good.
Yeah, I got. This might take all day. I got a chess deficit mind right now.
It's okay.
My initial, no, but I got focused on my initial thought because I thought it was just going to be so obvious, and then I got to a point where I don't know, like, I see, oh, this king has an escape square, and I don't know how to like stop it. So then I thought maybe it was a different thing. But then I thought like they could just use it. So I'm not positive on anything about life.
Okay, okay, maybe we'll work through this one. I would suggest to keep thinking and just looking for the checks, trying to keep the visualization clear in your mind.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah. Okay, let's check in with Scotty. Scotty, you feel like you solved it?
Yeah.
Okay, send me the last move again. Oh, just to me. Last time you sent it to everyone.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no worries.
How do I? Oh, okay.
I'm not in the Zoom chat if that helps.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, that's good, Scotty. That's good. All right, Charlie, let's talk about where you're at. How far did you get on this one?
I have no idea. My first thing I looked at was queen takes g8.
Good.
Uh-huh. And then obviously king is gonna grab it. So king takes g8.
Mhm.
And then I was thinking it was just gonna be simple GG. At first, my initial thought was rook to b8, but then I saw that the king could escape to f7.
Okay.
And then I couldn't figure out how to like my light square bishop can't go into the game. So then I just kind of got flustered and frustrated and didn't know how to finish it.
So from here, you weren't sure where to play.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you, what kind of moves are we looking for?
Oh, I can easily see now that you put the arrows on the board, that I could go to rook to f8 to keep on checking.
Okay, let's
Oh, would
try to
that be it?
keep that. Yeah, let's try to visualize that. So rook f8. Now where can black's king go?
It can go to e6.
Mhm.
That's it.
That's it. Good. And now once again, you have to find your checks.
Oh, the bishop would be defended by the rook.
That's what
I can probably go bishop f5,
Should have 5.
but then I'm just letting them. No, is it checkmate? This really is a visualization. It's like improving your visualization so you can see deeper and further.
Agreed. Agreed.
And he can't take, and he can't go up. He can't go down because the pawn. He can't go on that diagonal of this. That's checkmate.
That's mate. That's mate. Very good. Bravo. Bravo.
That's a
Okay.
nice smile you got there, Scotty. Very
No,
nice smile.
I'm
you have.
laughing at Mitch's comment. Give him the bishop scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, so okay, again, this is just a matter of visualization. What I've noticed for a lot of players is that, let's say they calculate this just like Charlie did. And then once they see the king kind of somewhat escaping, it's just like you feel this resistance, like, oh, it's not going to work. How could there be checkmate here, right? It's like so many squares. But this is like, this is just a feeling. It's not exactly concrete analysis. And it's really important if you can visualize. So I'm not asking guys to visualize like, 10 moves deep or something. But if you can keep the position clear in your mind, then you kind of should be able to see if you have any immediate checks or, of course, immediate mates. So here we just have to see a little bit further. Obviously, you guys are aware that there's a solution, right? So there's this kind of driving force. Like, there has to be an answer. You know that it has to be checks. So you only have so many options, right? It's, it's really just a matter of going through the options until you find something that works. There was also rook b7 check here, right, that you could consider. Intuitively, maybe we can say this one is kind of less likely to work because, like, the king can go back and kind of go where it came from. But still, this move would be worth checking just to see if you can find any follow up there. But Rook F8 feels much more, let's say, unique. And then, yeah, you saw that the king has to come here, and now Bishop F5. Again, the hardest part here is just seeing that this is a mate, just seeing that the king has no squares. Finding the check, not that hard. Just seeing that, okay, we're covering all the squares and everything is defended. That, of course, is a test for your visualization. Now, the other thing I'll say, guys, is that these are calculations that you can do during your games. Like, you're physically capable. The problem is more just like psychological. It's just like during a game, you might not even consider this move in the first place, right? Because you're taught not to give up your queen for a rook. And even if you do consider it for a second, a lot of players would just kind of discard it. Rook b8, king f7, like, it doesn't look like it's working. And then they don't look any further. But sometimes you will get chances like this. And if you can just thread that needle, right, just like calculate the precise line. Now, I'm not going to be there, right, telling you every move is a check. But that's why these are the moves that we start with, right? Because if they work, they're very clean and there's very little room for black to do anything, right? If every move is a check, then what can they do? They just have to get out of check, and there are only so many ways. So that's why we're kind of starting with this before, eventually moving on to trickier puzzles, right, that are not going to be just like checks and captures and really force you to kind of think through all the different options.
On that note, not being able to draw arrows is a little different. I get to do that on chess.com. And I can on here, but the thing is, I think you see them. So.
Yeah, then we'd see them. So that would be no
I
good.
actually think it's going to be good practice for us as we transition to do more OTB to practice not drawing arrows.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's actually like, I can't believe I didn't see like just rook to f8. Like, it's so basic, but I guess without the arrows and using the tools that I have in the internet world of doing puzzles, like, it's not helping me actually visualize. Like, it's almost like a false sense of secure rating. Like, 1800, I feel like I'm okay at puzzles. But in reality, Charlie, you're probably like dumpster fire at puzzles. You have trouble visualizing really deep. So
yeah, I mean, this is kind of like a new phenomenon again with the online trainers. Like, the majority of chess players in history, they learned, with just over the board, right, where there are no arrows, and there's a coach to like slap your hand if you try to like move the pieces. So it's like, yeah, I think I would encourage you guys to just try not to use arrows unless you're stuck, and then maybe as like a plan B. So like, first you give your full effort without arrows. Then if you really feel stuck, maybe using the arrows to kind of help you. And then if you still feel stuck after that, then you can like move the pieces around and start to analyze before, let's say, reviewing the solution. So kind of like a 3-step process. Okay, so all right, Scotty, I'll give you 7.5 for the first one for this one because you did submit a wrong solution.
I did.
I got to dock you for that. And then Charlie, I'll give you 5 points because you saw the first 2 moves.
you're very generous. You're not Russian.
Yeah, technically I am from Ukraine, and we are a lot nicer. Everyone knows. Okay.
I told you one of my favorite bands is from Ukraine.
Oh, cool. I must have missed that.
Well, they're not music you would probably like, so it's okay.
All right, let's do the next one here. This is again white to play, and every move will be a check.
I'm just gonna take my headphones off now.
One sec.
Am I getting old? I feel myself like trying to lean into
white to move.
Yeah.
Cool.
For reals? Oh, maybe that won't work. Maybe it will.
Oh, I'll just answer. Sorry, I don't know what I'm typing. So Gratify is asking, do I think mate in two or mate in three puzzles are best for visualization? So I would start with mate in twos, and then once you do a lot of them, like several hundred, and you feel like pretty comfortable, like you're finding them very quickly, then move up to mate in threes. So something that will be a little bit more challenging. But if you're already struggling with mate in twos, and you feel like you can't exactly solve every mate in two you see, then mate in threes might be a little bit harder. That said, there are plenty of mate in threes that are like easier than mate in twos because the moves themselves are like simpler to find. But yeah, I would just start from the ground up and work your way up. Okay, a lot of wrong answers in chat. I'm noticing a lot of wrong answers. So I am tricking some of you guys here. So yeah, if you think you got it right, I would strongly recommend double checking. And well, as you guys have noticed, these are all mate puzzles. So you should be seeing the full line until mate. If you're just asking like one move and then it doesn't end in checkmate, then yeah, it's not a full solution. But it's all good, guys. That's what we're here to train for, here to train calculation and accuracy and precision. And yeah, that's what it's all about.
Oh, I wonder if we're stuck at the same place. Oh, you put the headphones on. No, you didn't.
Are there two lines potentially?
Yeah, I think there's multiple variations here.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna type it out just to you.
Yeah.
You already know this now. I think out of kindness and to not take forever, once one of us gets it, give it a little more time. But I'm stuck at a certain spot that I think I did the right thing, but then I don't know what to do after that. I don't see how I can win.
Okay. Well, let's talk through your thoughts, Charlie.
Okay, so if we're continuing the scheme of everything's forcing type of stuff, then the first feeling was to do queen at h7, check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then king takes h7, and then rook to h3.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw that the bishop could block.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what? What do I do? I couldn't visually like break past this.
Yeah, I mean, let's just check one move further because you do have one check in that position.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta open my eyes harder or something. So you're on a white square. Are you saying I literally... No, you're not saying that.
You have one check available. Yeah, it's not a good one, but I do want you to see it.
You mean kill my rook? Take out my rook?
Yeah, that's
Rook
your only
takes
check,
bishop?
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But intuitively,
that.
you're like, okay, you're out of pieces. Yeah, how are you going to checkmate after that, right?
And I can't get my another rook in the game because the knight defends d3.
Well, then we're just done. Like we're out of checks. Okay, king will take. You
Mhm.
can give your bishop up as well. But yeah, so the line is not working. So you're right on that. Queen takes h7 is not working.
Oh, so that's
So
probably wrong then.
exactly. Yeah, you got to trust your calculation. You got to realize, well, that's not it. You have to go to the starting position, and now you have to see, well, do you have any other checks?
Of course. Rook to g6.
Okay, so that becomes your second candidate move. And I'll tell you a secret. A lot of times when someone finds a brilliant combination, it wasn't their first idea, right? Their first idea was usually something completely different, right? So
Okay.
it's totally okay to look at multiple moves. So now let's try to calculate this one out. So rook takes g6.
And then they could
Some
either
options
take with
there. Mhm.
they can either take with their pawn or their bishop. I don't know which one.
Just choose one.
Bishop, I
Okay.
guess. Oh jeez.
Now
And
you're
then I
gonna have
still
to try
see
to
my I
keep
still
looking for
see that yeah,
Mhm.
I still see that my my queen's threatened. So it is upsetting. So hold on. I can't.
Well, they can't take
Oh,
it while they're in check. Keep that
I
in mind.
know, but he's on a light square and my queen's on a dark square. Oh, he moved the bishop out of the way. So now I have the bishop takes e6.
Good. Let's keep going.
Okay, so he's in check. And he can either take Scotty's all I can see is his white teeth in the corner of my screen. Um
Into.
this is hurtful.
I think it's 2, right? Yeah.
Oh, so he can go back with his bishop and block,
Good. Bishop f7.
and then I can take it again.
Okay.
Thank you for yeah, the bishop is what I meant. And then I now have queen to h7.
So king takes, right? Queen h7.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, but there's no check. Oh, no. Yes. No. Oh, this is painful.
Okay,
Oh,
it's
okay. Wait.
getting a little fuzzy, yeah?
Well, I can see I can take f5 now with the queen. And
Well, where's black's king going after queen takes h7?
a free square that he's not going to get checkmated on.
Okay, so when this happens, this is like really typical thing in calculation. Sometimes you see a line and then it's like really not sure if it's working, and now it's getting very deep to the point of like you're not even sure if you have the right visualization. When that happens, it's important to kind of stop and like retrace your steps and look for options. So here I'll kind of give you a hint where you need to kind of look again. So rook takes, bishop takes e6, bishop f7. Here you said bishop takes f7 for white very quickly, but you do have some options there. So I want you to kind of focus on that position and look for what checks you might have instead. You might see that you have something else that's also tempting.
Okay. So the bishop is back where it originally started on f7. My light square bishop is on e6.
Mhm.
My rook is dead.
Mhm.
The king is still where it's at, g8. Oh. So now the G files open up a straight line to the king.
Good.
So could I go queen to G5?
Queen g5. All right, and let's just finish that until mate. Where can black play?
Oh, jeez. Now I have to like. It seems like every time I make a decision, I almost like lose some of the pieces in my mind. Like they fade
Yeah,
away.
that's because you're hitting like the limits of your visualization, and so if you're not like 100% focused, it starts to like fade away, right? Like a distant memory. But that's okay. You just have to like re-hit that wall, regain to that level, go back to that
Okay,
point.
so now it could do a cutoff, like a bishop to G7 cutoff, or the king. Yeah, that's its only choice because it's surrounded by its own people.
Hmm?
Yeah, so bishop G7, I think.
Okay.
And now it's checkmate. Queen. Wait, queen can just go forward and take G7 checkmate.
Queen takes
Queen.
G7. Very good. Bravo, bravo. Okay.
So that's it. Holy moly.
Nice job. That's the
Scotty,
first
you
one.
got it right?
Yeah, Scotty, he got it. Okay, rook takes G6. Remember, black had second option.
He can take with his pawn.
Yeah.
And then you have to do something different.
Yeah, you mate right away.
Do you mate right away? I don't see that.
Look for the check.
Oh yeah, you do in the corner.
In the
Queen
corner.
H8.
Corner.
Yeah, Queen H8, a corner. Yeah.
Okay.
Why didn't I just think of the easy one the first time?
Yeah. I remember the first one. Well, this is kind of red herring, right? But this is very important because in a game, again, you don't know that there's a solution and you don't know what the solution is. Now you might think to yourself, as you should, okay, I have active pieces, queen, rook, two bishops, everything active. I might have something. And that's the hint you give to yourself, right? So here as a coach, I'm telling you, okay, white to play and win. But during a game, you might have a white to play and win. And the way to kind of spot it, you have to be optimistic. You have to be like, well, I have a strong attack, so I'm going to look for the most forcing way. I'm going to look for, if there is a checkmate, what could it be? But there are going to be lots of options that are very tempting, but simply don't work. And the important part of calculation is just staying objective and realizing like either something works or it doesn't, right? So it's very good that you saw this move bishop h6, because actually I'll tell a lot of people in the chat, they're like, oh, easy. It's just queen takes and then rook h8 mate and game over. But it's an easy way to lose the game by sacking your queen and then resigning 3 moves later. So yeah, I'm very glad you found this one. And then here, yeah, you had to work through this one a little bit, right? You had to realize that this is now open. But again, you're totally capable physically of doing it. It's just a matter of pushing your brain and just really focusing. And again, if I show you this position, then you find this very quickly, almost instantly. So this is just a matter of visualization practice and keeping the position steady in your mind. Okay, guys, let's pause here. Stop here on the puzzles. Okay, Scotty, I'll give you a full 10 points for that one. I think you got it right on your first try. Nice job. Charlie, I can't give you a lot of credit, but I do want to give you 2.5 points because at least you correctly recognize that this one isn't working, and that is worth something.
Yeah, when that one didn't work, I was a little worried. I was like, what could it be?
Yeah,
and it is
I'm guessing. I'm starting to realize that Scotty, you're Mario and I'm Luigi. It's just how it is, unfortunately.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh.
Someone suggested this move, Queen F6, and it's very tempting move as well. It does look like it is winning because we're threatening mate. And if black takes this one, then we have queen takes e6, and this is also mate. So I would say this is good enough. It's not as forcing as a solution, but I'm not seeing a defense for black. So I would say this works too. Okay, let's switch gears, and I want to practice an endgame with you guys, and then hopefully we'll have time for a couple of rapid games.
Sure.
And like I mentioned, every time with you, I just want to go over one fundamental endgame and then have you guys kind of play out both sides. So we're going to take a look at this position.
For reals?
Oh, yeah. And this is one of the most important king and pawn endgames to understand from both sides. And when I say both sides, I don't mean white and black. I mean the stronger side and the weaker side, meaning the side with the extra pawn and the side that's playing against the extra pawn. So, black could have an extra pawn, right? And then black would be the stronger side. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about white or black, it can be colors reversed. So first, I'll just quickly tell you guys a little bit about the position and how both sides should play. and then I'll have you practice kind of the right strategy. One thing I don't like that coaches do is like, they just give you a random end game and then like they don't give you any instruction. They're like, just play it out. Let's see if you can do it. And like, obviously it's very difficult if you've never seen the position before. Like, so I'm not interested in just having you guys like, guess moves in this random end game. I want to give you some direction first and then have you play it out. Okay. So this position, obviously the side with the pawn is trying to win. Side playing against the pawn is trying to draw. And the key strategy for the side with the pawn is to get the king out in front of the pawn. You guys are probably familiar with, let me switch up the moves on the board. You guys are probably familiar with this position already, but just to review, in this kind of position, if it's white to play, then white wins immediately with which move, either of you?
Pawn.
Pawn pushes up, right? Okay, very good. Black's king has to move. Only move is to get out of the way with king to d7, and now
King f7.
King moves up, right? White takes the promotion square under control. Next move, white promotes, and game over. So white wins if you can get this position with black to move. If it's black to move in this position, then what would be the right defense?
As black?
Yeah.
King f8.
King f8, very good. So we call this opposition, exactly. And opposition is very important in king and pawn endgames, other endgames as well. It's how the kings fight against each other. Here the king is preventing white's king from advancing. If you went this way, this would be very bad, as after king f7, white kind of gets the king to the key square. And now there's nothing black's king can do to push the pawn up. It can be white to play, black to play, white is winning. So here the king stops white from coming forward. And here if white pushes, like e7 check, king goes to e8, king e6, draw. Nothing white can do. Okay, going backwards, let's say we have this position, and it's black to play. There's only one right move here, and that would be king e8. And the reason this is the right move is so that you're ready to meet white's king advancing with the opposition. And then we get that kind of same endgame as before, and white to move makes a draw. That makes sense?
Yeah, I think out of all the moves, though, this is probably the most not completely obvious to me, about just moving back to anticipate the opposition. I was thinking like d6 or something.
Oh, great. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, if you try to advance the king, what this does is that allows white's king to come up.
f6, yeah. And then, yep.
So the rule of thumb to remember for both sides, as much as you can, you want to keep the king in front of the pawn, directly in front, meaning the same file. And actually it makes this pretty easy for the defender, because you're basically just keeping your king in front of the pawn. So here, only move is king e8. And if the king was on e8 already, only move would be king e7. All right, now let's take things back a little bit further. Here we have a position where white's king is in front of the pawn. So this changes things. So usually the stronger side, they want their king in front of the pawn because their king takes more space, and then the pawn follows behind. If white just starts pushing their pawn up, they're not going to be able to make any progress. Black just keeps the king in front of the pawn, and eventually we reach this kind of critical drawn position. So here with black to play, it's very important to keep the opposition in mind. So this is kind of the exception where you don't just move your king in front of the pawn. Instead, better would be
King f7.
King f7, exactly. Challenging white's king and not allowing white's king to advance. If black had played king e7, now white's king would take the opposition. And now this is an important zugzwang because black has to move out of the way. And this allows white's king to advance. So king d7, white's king comes forward, takes space, wants to, let's say, push the pawn and advance the king and just promote the pawn. If black's king continues to try to defend, again, white takes the opposition. And again, black has to get out of the way, right? So let's say something like this. White goes here, here, here. Now it's all over because the king is controlling these 3 squares and the pawn is just going to be defended. Nothing black can do.
I think it was
So,
very important
yeah.
point was that you didn't start pushing the pawn up. You waited till the king could get to the 7th or 2nd rank before you started pushing the pawn up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is the easiest way to do it. There are going to be some exceptions where you can push the pawn because it works out with the tempos. But I kind of want to give you guys the ground rules first. You want to keep your king in front of the pawn. The king takes space first, and then the pawn kind of follows behind. And again, from the defending side, as much as you can, you want to take the opposition because here the king isn't able to advance. So if it's white to play, white comes here, black simply follows and follows. And as soon as white pushes the pawn, once the king and the pawn, let's say, are on the same rank, it's very simple to draw from here. You just keep your king in front of the pawn as much as you can. That's it. Okay, so let's go back to this position. And I'll tell you guys the evaluation here, which is kind of useful to know. With white to play, white wins because the king has time to get in front of the pawn and take the opposition, right? So it's not enough to just get in front of the pawn because if black gets this position with white to play, that's a draw. So with white to play, white has time to get the king out in front of the pawn and take the opposition. With black to play, black can hold. Black has enough time to take the opposition and not let the white king forward. So with white to play, white wins. With black to play, black actually draws.
Wow.
Okay. So I'll have you guys play this one out. Let me give Scotty, and we're gonna play this 4 times actually. So you're each gonna play white and black twice, and then we'll say white to move, black to move, white to move, black to move. So Scotty, I'll give you white. You should be able to make moves, and your objective is to win. Charlie, you're trying to draw.
Draw.
Oh wait, sorry. Let me adjust one thing just so it keeps the moves. Okay, go ahead.
Why is this crazy already for me? I already feel like I messed up. Well, he's supposed to win, so I don't have to feel
Let's
bad
play
about
white
it.
should win. Yeah. So your job is just to try to offer resistance.
Hold on. So I don't want to get that. So I go here. Yes. Yeah. Can go twice. He's already won. It doesn't matter which side I go, but I try to be consistent so I know what to do next time.
All right, GG.
Let's play until the pawn promotes.
Okay.
Okay, well
Oh,
played.
under promote for me. Look at that.
I'm less. I actually do this because I'm less likely to stalemate.
Stalemate.
We don't want to
Let's
talk about
let's just address that
that.
actually, because I've heard some people say that they're like less likely. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I don't want you to. I am so unlucky when it comes to that. I just miss stuff like that. But whatever.
There's no luck. It's just like, okay, not stalemating your opponent is the equivalent difficulty of, let's say, looking at a set of cards, like let's say 2 through 10, and just noticing if there's like a number missing or not, right? If you're able to look at a set of cards 2 through 10 and be able to tell, like, okay, is there a number, not even 2 through 10, a lot of times like 2 through 8, right? The king doesn't have even so many squares. You can just see the cards 2 through 8 and you can tell if there's one missing or not. You should be able to see if there's a square available to the enemy king. So I would, yeah, strongly encourage you to practice the queen endgame, chess.com/drills, until you can do it very quickly and without fear of stalemates. If you have to watch a video just to review the technique, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I mean, because it is harder to win with the rook. Imagine you're in time trouble, and the queen is going to be much faster, much more efficient. So you got to get over it.
Come on,
Right.
Scotty.
Well played. I have no feedback because I think you played this one perfectly. King took the opposition. Once Black's king went off to the side, you advanced. And now, once the king is not kind of fighting with you, you're simply advancing the pawn. One and that's it. As soon as the king went back, you took the opposition again. Very important. Had White played this move, then Black would have been able to achieve the key position with a draw. So King e6 here, regaining the opposition, very important. And this is kind of like a key position to remember, knowing that if it's Black to play here, White wins easily. Actually, it's kind of a funny one, or if it's White to play, White also wins, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. Okay. So Charlie, your turn. I'm gonna clear the board. So now you play White, and Scotty tries to defend.
So far, so good. Why do I feel nervous all of a sudden? Because I'm going against Scotty. That's why. Yo, he already like won somehow in my mind. Can't go straight. I'll just do this then. I don't like you already.
Sorry.
It's crazy how I get nervous for no reason. Watch me stalemate. Why do I have so much anxiety? Hold on, did you just get yourself into a stalemate position? No, you didn't. No, but then I can't go there. Let me... Flip sides. Why do I feel like I have to flip sides? You stalemated me, didn't you? No, you didn't. Let's go here. It'd be hilarious if I somehow stalemated. But
Okay, fantastic. Well played.
did
So you kind of stumbled onto a nice little detail here. Let's go to this position. Here, it would be a draw if white didn't have this kind of key waiting move, e3.
so I was right?
This is absolutely the right move here. Yeah, and you're winning the whole time. Black never had a chance to defend. So well played. The point of this move is that you're passing the move to the opponent, right? So it's like technically black took the opposition, but you win because you have a move in reserve anyway. So you're actually the one with the opposition, right? Black has to move, black has to give ground, and that's kind of what happened here. And then, okay, now so this is why people often say it's good to kind of keep the pawn behind a bit so that you always have these waiting moves in reserve. So once you get to some key position where it really is crucial whose move it is, you always have a move if you need it to kind of pass it back to your opponent. So your king e6 was good, e5 was again good, and yeah, then you came in. There are other ways to win. For example, you could also play e5 in this position, and you still take the opposition, and you still win this one.
Yeah, for some reason I was feeling like I was falling into a trap where I had no squares for my king to go, so I had to like switch from trying to think mentally to the right to switch to the left side of the board. I don't know if it was false fear, but it was still real in my mind.
No, you did fine. And a really important thing you're doing, Charlie, is that you're actually thinking. So many people make the mistake of like remembering what to do, and they often misremember. So they remember that there's some position where you have to take opposition, there's some position where you have to push the pawn, and then they do it in the wrong moment, and then they lose the opposition and they end up drawing the game. So honestly, one of the most important things about endgames is like not being lazy to kind of rework it out at the board. Even if you've already seen it before, the human brain is like so fickle in terms of the memory. It's very easy to convince yourself like, oh yeah, I saw something like this and I think I'm supposed to do this. And it turns out you're doing the completely wrong thing, right? So it's really good to kind of like work it out again and again just to make sure that you're actually on the right track. Okay, let's play this one with black to move. So I'll have Scotty take black, and we'll just make some moves. Hopefully you can hold it.
Are you bowling,
I'm
Scotty? What are
here.
you
I'm
doing?
thinking. I'm thinking. Sorry.
You put a bowling alley in.
Oh wait. Oh, you can see my marks. Oops.
We're
No.
not supposed to be using arrows or something there. You're cheating already, you cheater.
That's not. I mean, I'm counting. That's all I'm doing. We'll go there. There it is.
Oh,
There it is,
chicken
boys.
liver schmear. You made it so much nicer. We just learned from this. I'm over here. My kid's in the bathroom right here with his iPad saying like "Happy Birthday, Talking Tom," and I'm like, "What is he doing?" I don't know if I can finagle myself out of this.
I forget. Yeah, I think it's there.
piece of. Wait, hold on. I don't think that's right either. If I go pawn up. I don't care if you hear me talking out loud. We're both trying to learn. So, pawn. I think I have to do this. No squares. But you get that. No, that's not right either. Well, going to the right is definitely wrong. So I think this is more stalemate, but I think it's what I have to do. Yeah. Oh, but then you're going to get up. Oh, you're going to go e4 right after. Good job, Scotty. I can't go forward at all. If I push the pawn up, it's the same. Or maybe I just have to slowly do this. But let me calculate more. He goes there. I can keep on going. It's just going to take long. Link, I'm on stream. You can sit here, but you gotta be quiet. Shit, that's too loud.
I don't mind. It kind of fits with the theme.
He hasn't gone yet, right?
No. I have not. Ooh, well, now I did. Oops. Not sure if that was right or wrong. That was a mouse. All right.
I think it was right. The long and winding road. Shh. Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna look at that guy right now. Yes, he's sleepy.
He's so cute.
Okay. You're gonna steal the show. Stop. I'm trying to rewind the tape in my mind of everything Kostya said about this end position of like, this is the ideal place. All right. Check. I only really got one move, so I'll just do it. Stalemate.
All right, very good. Well defended. White never had any chances here to win. All right, a little flip side. So Charlie, now you'll play black, and you're gonna try to hold this.
Hold on, but so there wasn't really anything I could have done, or did I misplay it?
You did nothing wrong. Scotty played perfect defense and held the draw.
Chess is a brutal game, man. Brutal game. All right, I go first.
That's right.
He did this first. Oh. didn't do that, I don't think, but it's okay.
Yes.
How did I mess this up? It's your fault, Link. It's your fault.
Okay, let's go back. Try to rethink, Charlie.
Woo!
What's the right move?
Obviously not what I did. Don't hit yourself, Link. It's not your fault. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it's opposition something.
Much better.
I got his feet on me. Here's my son's feet. Okay. Ow, don't kick me. It's an accident. I know. I don't feel good all of a sudden. This is like deja vu, except reverse colors. Oh, no, what did I do? What did I do? I messed up something. No, I didn't. Stop. Oh, no, I'm blocking the file. You can't go forward. Whew. Oh, no, no. Yes, no. I can't even think.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back, Charlie. You had it right. So remember the key rule here: if you can't take opposition, you
Mhm.
keep your king
On the
in
file.
front of the pawn.
Yeah. All right. Did he go like reverse or something somewhere in there? I felt
I
like
kept
he went
repeating moves
reverse.
Yeah, he kind of snaked around just to see if he could confuse you, which is a good strategy in the end game.
What do you
when
mean?
You have
If he could. Of course he could.
wasn't necessary. But
Okay.
yeah, so here when you play this move, we're,
I'm paying attention. Don't worry.
we're not taking
Okay.
the opposition, right? Because it's white that gets the opposition. So you got to just keep the king in front of the pawn as you did. So in front of the pawn once again, and then we went this way, right? So this was the key mistake.
That was a no-no.
Instead, just keep the king in front of the pawn. Then once white's king advances, you're ready to meet it.
Because opposition needs to have just that one square in between each other, not a bunch. Okay. Yep, that was a mistake.
Yeah. So just the one square, and now that nothing white can do. Okay, guys. So great job. Hopefully, when you get this kind of endgame, because a lot of king and pawn endgames eventually will devolve into one pawn, and it's very important to know how to play both sides of the equation. When you have the stronger side, how to convert it. When you have the weaker side, how to defend it. Hopefully, you guys get to a point where you can play this position perfectly against anyone in the world. Right? It doesn't matter strength of your opponent, GM, super GM. If you know the fundamentals of how to play this position, you should be able to handle it, right? Because it's just at a certain point, it's pure counting, right? You can count to 10, regardless of who's in front of you. And this is kind of the similar thing.
Zero sub. Did you see the answer, or do you need to see it again? I don't know when that message came through.
Oh, so yeah, white didn't make any mistakes in this because white position was drawn. So white is just trying to advance, and there's nothing white can do to win the game unless black makes the mistake. So that's what Charlie ended up doing a little bit later. At this point, when instead of keeping the king in front of the pawn, he played king d8, which allowed white to take the opposition and forcing the king into this position where now the king has to get out of the way and white is able to advance. So this is a really important one to practice, especially, you can do it on like chess.com/drills and other places. And yeah, hopefully you guys feel comfortable. Actually, another coach I was talking to recently has a very great concept for this kind of thing that he refers to as the lighthouse. And I think it's really useful for endgames to think about building various lighthouses for yourself. So what is a lighthouse? Like when you're traveling on a ship, you see the lighthouse, you know exactly where to go, where to dock, right? It's like it's the destination at the end. And a lot of times when you're calculating different endgames and you're looking at different options, if you have certain positions that you know exactly how to play and what the evaluation is, that can act as like a lighthouse for you during the game, right? Because you know, like, okay, if you get to this position, king and pawn against king, you know you can win it if your king is in front of the pawn. Or if on the defending side, if you know that your king is getting in front of the pawn, you know you can hold it, right? It's just like 100% guaranteed. You guys already know how to checkmate with a king and queen, right? So this is one lighthouse you already have for yourself. King and rook as well, hopefully, right? So if you end up in an endgame with king and rook or extra queen, you know you can win that 100% of the time against anyone. So the more of these different like lighthouse positions you can kind of add to your arsenal, the more comfortable you'll feel in the endgame because you'll know that like, okay, if you end up here, you win, right? If you end up here, you can hold it. So very, very useful. Okay, question, couldn't white have made it better by advancing the king? No, the point is that when black is advancing first, so as this problem starts, white isn't able to make progress because black is the one taking the opposition and white's king has no way to advance forward. So this is why black is able to hold this one. There's just no way for the king to advance. And once the pawn pushes up, then again, the king just can't advance here either. So there's no way for white to make progress here. The king is just standing in the way. Okay, guys, let's play some rapid games.
My mindset on that, I don't know if it's the right thing. I was trying to take as many moves as possible. Just giving him the opportunity to mess up.
Yeah, I mean that's a good strategy just to like, because even if the position is drawn, black still has to hold it and make accurate moves. So a lot of players, they kind of like move back and forth, try different angles just to see if the defender can hold it.
I did E3 and then E4. Would E4 have been? I guess it's drawn either way, so it doesn't really matter.
It's drawn either way. It doesn't make too much of a difference.
I was just kind of just like hoping if I did E3, that might confuse him. I don't know.
What happened though is doing the drills on chess.com, you kind of get used to how to beat that typical pathway and scenario, but it doesn't make you sometimes transferring it to when a human does it and tries to, stop and go and reroute and stuff. You're like, you broke the the equation almost, or you changed the order of operations.
Right.
Well, that's why it's important not to try to memorize these endgames, but to like understand them. So
conceptually,
king has to stay in front of the pawn. Unless you can take the opposition, then you should take the opposition pretty much every time.
Hi.
So.
And on that, thank you so much for the raid, Matt Kolowski. Sorry.
Ask Kostia, he'll know how to say it. Is that Polish though?
Yeah, I believe Polish I am. Yeah, Matt Kolosowski.
So, Kostia, you said you want us to play rapid games?
Yeah.
All right, so Charlie, why don't you go first? I have to do some things in OBS while you're playing, so it works for both of us.
Okay, so I'm just going to play a random person in the pool right now.
Yep.
a
And
10-minute rapid.
I will be right back in the meantime.
I haven't played a rapid game since the end of June, so it's probably the biggest gap I've had in a while. Yeah.
No worries. Take your headphones out, Charlie, while you're playing.
Yeah,
But
I will.
do feel free to voice your thoughts during the game. We'll be happy to hear them.
What am I doing? Oh, let me move my phone too, so I can't see it. Let me make my screen bigger. I can't. Oh. 10 minutes.
It's really heavy.
Charlie, whenever you're ready.
Okay, there. He just started.
Oh, okay, there it is.
All right, so let's see what Charlie is doing here. Playing Nimzo.
I have audio on the reason on the floor.
All right, Nimzo looks good. Is there any difference between pawn and king position? Yeah, so the pawn in game we just looked at, basically it's the same when the pawn is on either of these files, like G through B. Everything kind of works the same. If you have rook pawn, then those are like 10 times easier to draw for the defender because there's actually not enough room for the attacker to make progress there. So rook pawns are very easy to hold if the king is in position. But whether the pawn is on the e file or the d file doesn't really matter as far as the schematics of the winning and drawing ways. Okay, so white just took a lot of space here with this move e4. And we'll see how Charlie reacts to this one. I would say the smart thing to do would be to challenge this bishop immediately, right? Because, oh, there he goes. Because black cannot take the pawn right now because the queen is hanging. But if black is able to get g5 in, like he has right now, then he can take on e4. So this is the thing to do. Otherwise, white just gets all this space for free, and then black will feel very cramped after like bishop d3 and castles. Not the worst thing that can happen, but yeah, g5 is a big opportunity here.
Yeah, I think I would go g5 right now.
Good, good.
He'll see it. He'll see it.
I don't usually want to do this, but I think I have a light taking right.
There you go.
Nice, nice.
It's a free pawn. It's not only a free pawn. It's at least 2 free pawns. I think. I don't know.
Well, white will be able to defend c3 somehow, but yeah, you get 1 pawn. If white goes e5, I would say this is definitely not great. You just take the bishop, and the dark square bishop kind of worth more than the knight here. Okay, knight g5, so white goes for it. And it'll be good to see how Charlie reacts to this, because objectively it's like not a great sacrifice, but it does put black under some pressure. So good test for Charlie here, how he handles defending against sacrifices. E5. Is that what you would do, Scott? E5?
What would I do? No, I'm weird. I would take. Actually, no, I wouldn't take. I would do something. Different. I'd want to get my queen
black
out.
playing e5.
Yeah. Black playing e5. Doesn't seem bad right now. I would take the knight.
Yeah, yeah, definitely e5 was a really nice move because white, well, basically had one idea in the position, which is to push e5 himself.
There you go. I like this one. I like that move. I would just let that pawn go.
b6, c5.
I would play
Yeah, black here should
bishop
just
c7
continue
probably.
developing. Yeah, bishop b7, exactly.
Or b7, yeah. Yeah, forget that pawn.
Yeah, worst move in the position would be knight takes c5. BC is not bad. There's nothing wrong with this, but okay, white is playing for the attack.
There you go.
I like rook g8.
I like that.
Like both rooks can come, like rook b8, rook b6, rook
Right,
g8,
right.
rook b6, h4.
Actually, oh, but now I'll go there.
Dude's probably gonna trade.
Something happened to Charlie's mic. He got like super quiet all of a
Well,
sudden.
he's not next to it, so like it's off his head. Maybe that's something to do with it.
Mm-hmm. All right, a6 is not bad. Just to put the question to the bishop. Bishop c6.
Oh, he has to be careful here, because he can end up losing a knight.
How so? I think he's okay.
So if the what was I gonna say? So if bishop takes knight and the queen.
Wait,
takes,
which bishop? Which bishop?
White bishop takes knight and the queen takes
Mm-hmm.
instead of the bishop, then the other knight is free.
Yeah. But on bishop takes d7, of course, we can just recapture with our own bishop.
Right, of course.
Oh. Should be okay. All right, queen f3. That's an annoying move for sure. Now, what's the threat, Scott? What do you think?
I mean, they're just putting a lot of but it's double defended, right? No, it's not, because you can't move that knight. So that knight needs to get defended again. So probably move the rook up.
Yeah, rook g6. That would be good. Maybe even only move. Yeah. Well, not true. King f8 is... Now, king f8, then white does take on d7. And knight will hang on f6. So, yeah, rook g6. You got to find.
There it is.
I gotta move faster.
Rook d1, good move. But no real threat, actually. Like, if bishop takes d7, black just takes with the bishop. And is safe. But that said, you still kind of want to untangle. Yeah, so like rook b6 is good here. Very good. Just to kind of force
That's
the
not
issue.
bad.
Force
Yeah,
white
yeah,
to
yeah.
move.
Move
Also
that.
reinforcing knight f6.
Probably gonna go to a7 or a4. Why did I say a7?
h5 would allow black to take on g5, so white can't really do this one.
Right. Bishop. I'm imagining bishop bishop a4 right now.
Bishop a4, yeah, is
I don't
logical.
think I've ever had this position before.
I doubt that they're gonna trade.
Yeah, might go bishop d5 as well.
Yeah, I just saw that. That looks like a nice one. The problem with bishop d5 is that you have bishop b7 for
Right.
and then that's gonna more or less force a trade.
Yeah. Yeah, we're up the piece here, so trading is going to be pretty good for black generally. And white's thinking, so that's good for Charlie. He can catch up a little bit on time. One thing I really like about what Charlie does is like he's not afraid to just spend time if he thinks he needs it,
Sure. No, he's
which
really good about that.
is very important in this position because one mistake and black could just like lose. So very good to kind of like double check and not just make like your first instinct move.
Right.
Okay, white trades. That's kind of helpful. And we have one good recapture here. Yep, very good. More pins, but also allowing rook d6.
Yeah, rook d6
Black
wins
to
the
trade
game.
more. Yeah, let's see if he finds it. Queen e7 also not bad, just kind of getting out of the way. But rook d6 is very clean.
I like rook d6 a lot. Anyway,
Yeah, most forcing. Nice.
Skaboy Kruikek, I think that's how you say it. Thanks for the follow. And we have a few other follows from earlier.
Shaboy Krusek.
Saboy. One Silent Machine, thanks for the follow. And Zaid, thank you for the follow. And Zakon Jurokadaki, thank you for the follow. Yeah.
Okay, big move here available.
Oh, he didn't see it.
He rushed it. He saw double check and he's like, oh, that has to be winning.
Check again with the bishop. Just check again with the bishop.
The revise good. But yeah, bishop g4 there was just GG on the spot. Okay, he has another GG available. Nice. Nice, beautiful. Beautiful. A relief.
Nice.
Yeah, well played, Charlie. Well played.
Do you want to?
I never done the. That was the worst Nimzo I've ever
You
played.
did such a good job. You played really well.
It felt so weird. It felt so awkward, and like it was like bad chess the whole time.
Kosi, do you wanna analyze that on an analysis board at all, or do you have any comments?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just grab this one, and if you guys are still on the other analysis board, we'll just use that.
Yeah,
it does feel good to win. I haven't played Rapid in legit weeks, so
no,
it
Charlie,
felt good to win.
You played great. I mean, your opponent definitely like put you under pressure, right? But it doesn't mean that objectively his moves were good. You know? Okay, well let's go through the opening. So opening went absolutely fine. And then first critical moment was when white goes e4.
Hold on, where's this analysis board?
Oh, it's the same link as before.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, but it should be open for you, like on a tab or something.
Yeah, I just didn't. I got it now going. Okay.
Okay, you got it. So e4 is like big move from white because he takes a lot of space. And if you don't react to this, you can end up like very passive. Yeah. The whole point of the Nimzo Indian is to not allow white to take the square. So you played h6, which looks like your idea was to play g5.
Yeah, I was afraid he was going to win my knight because my knight was skewered to my queen.
So you're worried about e5 here.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. But then on bishop g3, what was the next move?
I probably would have done b6.
Okay. So you found the right idea, but wrong reasoning. You can grab this one. This one's hanging.
Oh yeah, that's
important tactic to keep in mind,
No.
right? Because you have this pin, and if you need to, you can reinforce the knight with knight f6 or f5. But you want to center a pawn. You're doing very well here. Okay, so your opponent didn't want that. He sacks the piece. And now again, he's threatening e5.
Yeah, so I was in the same scenario.
So you played e5, which another very good move. And just to point out, like if we allow this, we can't take here because queen takes d8, bishop takes f6, and like everything is hanging, right? So so e5 was very good. Takes, played a3. Now here actually we could talk about it a little bit because like what you did I think is fine. But since you're really bothered by this pin, I would say it's totally reasonable to just play bishop e7. Just break the pin. Right? And then next move, you're moving the knight. You're trading off bishops. You can play c6 if you want to cover knight d5. Essentially, white doesn't have enough. So this was also possible. Okay, you take. b6 I thought was totally fine. Another move you can consider like queen e7 with the idea of unpinning. When we're stuck in this like awkward pin, that's kind of, it's not like white is starting to win immediately, but eventually, yeah, once white brings in enough pieces, right, we'll have some problems. So it kind of makes sense to try to like unpin quickly while you still can. You can throw in rook g8, but then white will go h4. It doesn't change a whole lot anyway. But b6 I thought was fine. Okay, you're just developing. So white goes c5. I mean, good move. He's down a piece. He has to keep attacking. I think here we're thinking, yeah, just develop. Like, you don't need another pawn, right? You're already up the piece. So just develop your bishop, you know, threaten this one. Again, you want to go queen e7, maybe castle queenside, just getting your king out of the center. And you should convert. But okay, bc, bishop e5. Rook g8's good. a6 was fine. I would say, you know, you can do this one again, like you did later. But okay, a6 first, then rook b8.
Oh, so I basically lost a tempo almost.
Not quite, but like
something.
Like for example, on rook b8, you know, your opponent probably goes a4, right? Like, and then you might just end up playing a6 here anyway.
Oh, okay.
Just to kind of chase down the bishop. So not a big deal, I would say. Not a big deal at all. Okay, then queen f3. You recognize this is a big threat. So rook g6, great move. Only move, I think, actually. Rook d1. You play rook b6, also very good move. You didn't have to make this one. Like white isn't actually threatening anything. Bishop takes d7, you're just taking back. Everything is defended. But this is a good move when you're defending because you're not letting your opponent just do whatever they want, right? You're kind of making threats of your own. You're improving your position. And yeah, we were thinking if bishop d5 here or bishop a4, you can continue like bishop b7 and just kind of keep developing. Okay, white takes probably a big mistake to kind of ease up some of the pressure. Queen d3, rook d6, great move. Again, white doesn't really have a threat, but like you're up a piece, so you want to trade, right? And you want to kind of fight back. Then takes, king takes, and this is the only move where you deserve some lashes for your next move.
Oh, queen, bishop g4, bishop g4. Oh, it sucks. So, but then he could have got my queen back. I'm ahead anyways, I guess. So yeah, bishop g4 is the play. Oh,
yeah, this was the only move where you didn't spend time.
Yeah, you spent so much time on everything, and then you saw that, and you just went for it. We're like, ah.
Oh wait, he's double checked almost, so you can't take back. I get a free queen for nothing.
Yeah, if you could do this one, right, then it's kind of a trade. Yeah. But no, it's a check. And I mean, this is the classic advice, right? When you see a good move, look for a better one, right? Because you have a discovered attack. That means you have like 5 to 6 different checks in the position, right? And one of them might be, you know, stronger than the rest. So this was your only, I would say, big miss of the game. Not that you're not still winning, you are, but it's just like, okay, your opponent definitely didn't have to walk into the mate, but they did, and then you found this one. And,
well, luckily, because I would have felt horrible if they ended up coming back and I could have took their queen.
Yeah.
But no, overall, I would say very well played, very solid game.
Yeah, right, but Scott, that last.
Yeah, my turn. All
right, let's do it.
What's the best way to follow Scotty's game? Just find him in live chess. And
I think you should type /follow SM Pooh Bear. Like
I'm already
name with the
buddies with him on him. I should be able to just find his there.
All right. Let me know. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
We can also see your receding hairline, but he can't.
He just started his game. I'll link it in the Zoom chat, Charlie, if you want, or the Twitch chat. You can use either one.
Post it in the Zoom chat, please.
Yeah, I just posted it there.
Oh, that's it? Okay. 332, 332. Okay. I'll look at have chat open too now.
Yeah, you can open chat. Okay, we got a Peart's defense.
I'm gonna take a second. I need to fix the analysis board or the
whoops.
H files cut off.
All right,
cool.
I keep on going to my old game for the link you sent, Kostia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Should be this one. Maybe you have different tabs for the different games.
It's loading this tab every time I click on it to go to our live thing. Maybe hold on. Oh, there's more than one game. I gotcha. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, all good.
Whoa, he's done all this. I missed it. Wow.
Yeah, so black just hit him with this typical trick, 94. Black wants like knight takes e4 and then d5, getting the piece back. It's kind of a known equalizer.
Oh, the center fork trick.
Yeah, exactly.
We learned about this in the Rui Lopez Archangel or Archenix. I don't know how to say it. Thing.
All right, so he takes on f7, which is a way to kind of like you keep the material even. Definitely not the only thing white can do, but it's reasonable.
Oh. Bishop to g4. Now the knight's pinned.
Yeah, bishop g4 is an annoying move here.
You think he'll just go h3?
Yeah. We see the issue of giving up the light squared bishop, right? Is now white is really missing this bishop to put on e2, for example.
I'm just laughing at the chat.
So he goes knight d2 to
add a defender.
Yeah, the problem is now black can take on d4 and use the pin. But we'll see if black finds this one.
Ooh, that's tasty. Yeah, he did. It's his plan all along.
Yeah. It wasn't the end of the world to let black double the pawns, because then white gets the open g file and can put like the rook on g1. Pumpkin the Cat says they always go h3 in those situations. Yeah, that's not a good rule, because like always is a dangerous word in chess, because in this case, it's like black wanted to take on f3 anyway and kind of double the pawns. So it doesn't always make sense to spend a tempo encouraging them to do what they want to do, right? Like instead of knight d2, I would do something like queen d3, like developing, getting ready to castle queenside, and also unpinning. So kind of forcing black to take, but making a more useful move. Okay, gives us the second pawn, but he's going to be able to take on b7 at least. So, yeah, still in the game.
What about the bishop take on h4 and then the queen is like, he doesn't have to do anything about that?
Oh, no, bishop is hanging on h4. Yeah, you're right. So white needs to trade on f6 first, of course. And then take on b7. Yeah, as he does. He plays h3. Yeah, h3 I don't like here because black wasn't really threatening to do anything, and now exactly gets a tempo to defend the b pawn. So it was better for white to just take on b7, just recognizing that there's no threat. Oh, queen d5, excuse me. Oh man, look at this trick. Look at this trick. Okay, well, b6, no good. Black needed to play queen c8, yeah, or c6. But queen c8 would have defended everything. Very tricky by Scott, huh? Look at this.
Yeah, Scott's in my view, he's way higher than his rating. He just doesn't feel comfortable playing games. He enjoys the puzzles, the study aspect of it.
Yeah, it doesn't
But
play enough, but
he tells me he wants to make 1,700 by the New Year's, and I thought that was a huge goal.
well, it's doable if he plays. He just needs to play a lot.
1,700 within 1 year of playing chess, I think that's hard.
But he didn't start this year.
He said he did, basically. But he
I
says
think
he loves
playing-
puzzles, so who
He's been
knows?
playing for longer, yeah. But no, I mean, given his puzzle rating is 2,200, getting to 1,700 is totally doable.
Mm.
But it's just he has to play a lot to build up this experience. Because chess is more than just about, you know, the puzzles. I mean, this game doesn't necessarily show that. In this game, he won because of his puzzle strength. But well, we'll see. Hopefully, he can convert.
Yeah, it's amusing to me that my rating's higher than him, but I don't consider myself better than him. We probably have different pros and cons.
Yeah, it feels like you've simply played more.
Yeah.
You have more of those like hand-to-hand skills kind of developed. Because just as important as, I mean, the tactics is also like the defending. Like in your game, there weren't many tactics for you.
Oh, rook to c7 coming.
Yeah, it's a nice move. But you had to find a lot of very good defensive moves, right? Which is not just, it's not the same as just solving puzzles. It's kind of like anticipating your opponent's threats and then finding a way to defend. Queen b8, beautiful. Look at this.
Wow. Look at Scott flexing. Over here flexing those. You trick people with your screen name, they probably think they're playing an 8-year-old kid. Probably a 6-year-old, and it's really like a 30-something-year-old
maturity level
man.
is roughly around that.
All right, well
right.
played, well played. Let's take a look at this one. Actually, there's some interesting stuff here in the game.
I played that really fast and I didn't say anything, so sorry, everyone.
No, all good. All right, I'm gonna meet you guys back at the analysis board.
Did you cross 1,200 before, Scotty?
No, I haven't. I'm not gonna lie. A part of the reason why I'm doing this show is to play more rapid. Because
You're afraid. Yeah, I know.
I'm not afraid. Like that's not the right thing. It's I don't know. I want to play more rapid. I want to get better, but doing it
Are
by
you
myself,
petrified?
Yeah, a little bit. Doing it by myself is not as easy. Not as I am really big into like team activities, if that makes sense. Like
Don't worry, bro. I'm your dojo bro. I'm here for you.
There we go. All right, I need to fix the screen again. 1 second.
Oh yeah.
Like I've been playing OTB recently, and I've been loving it because part of it I get to talk. I'm pressing Alt. What's going on? Part of it is because I get to talk to people. You know, if I play online versus someone, it's really you don't really get to talk to them. So.
No, over the board, you get to see them squirm and squimish and flinch, and
Right.
it's definitely more like
Right.
it's real. Online is never feels totally real. So.
I don't know. That's still a real game. I mean, I guess you're more used to just kind of the casual environment. As I mean, generally OTB are not supposed to talk to your opponent either. Like in tournaments.
Well, don't, but you can still see their breathing, and they're like.
But you do interact with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do have to kind of learn to kind of read them a bit or feel their energy. Okay, let's go through this one. So opening was fine, Scott. But here, okay, we get hit with the center trick, knight takes e4.
Mm-hmm.
So you realize black wants to go d5.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, I would say actually once we get here, it's usually good. You usually want to keep your light squared bishop. So I would say actually this was probably worth going into, and then just playing like bishop d3 here. Black wins back the piece. You take bishop takes e4, and you're totally fine.
Okay.
You can continue. I would say c3 is kind of a good move for the structure. just
Sure.
to like blunt the bishop, right? To
Sure.
secure your center. But this is an important one to watch out for. So most players would probably say that the bishop shouldn't go to c4 simply because of this idea, knight takes c4. So bishop d3 is better, bishop e2 is not bad. And then you keep your space, and black doesn't have a way to kind of fight against your center effectively, because if they try something like d5, then that allows you to advance e5.
Right.
And you keep a nice space advantage.
Right.
And then on knight e4, I would say don't take this one, because then okay, your knight is
Not
forced to move. And like knight d2, for example, like we drop the d pawn. But instead, knight e4, actually, I would just like ignore this one, even play like bishop d3 here, invite black to take on c3, and then you get a very strong kind of pawn chain in the center. And
Okay.
these double pawns, I would say, totally fine for white, because there's not a great way for black to put pressure on them. But your center, super strong. Okay, so we do get bishop c4, which is not a blunder. I would say just inaccurate. Knight e4. And then bishop takes f7, actually, although you do weaken black's king. Well, I think you felt it right away. You're like missing your light squared bishop.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Right now, to deal with this pin, you would love to just put your bishop on e2. Okay, so this was kind of a critical moment. You play knight d2, so I'm assuming okay, you just didn't want black to double the pawns here.
Not only that, I mean, yeah, like that was my only choice, was him to double the pawns, and I planned on castling on that side, and I couldn't obviously take with my queen because I'd lose her.
Yeah, well, I would say this, maybe you could adjust your plan. So for example, let's say you play queen d3, unpinning.
Mm-hmm.
Black takes. Otherwise, then you have time to do this or reroute. So takes gf, and then your plan is actually castle queenside, and you put your rook on the g file.
Okay.
And because black is, you did weaken their king side a bit, like this is actually not so easy for black. Like rook comes to g1, your queen is already lined up on this one as well. Honestly, fully playable position. I wouldn't even say you're worse here. I would say like honestly just very very double-edged.
Okay.
So it's something to keep in mind. Like you can adjust your plans and like, let's say, yeah, accept double pawns if you kind of see that, like, because of course the pawns are weak. These are definitely really weak pawns, but it's not the only thing going on in the position. You're also getting open files and dynamic play.
Right.
So this is probably the way to go. Okay, knight d2 takes castles. I think is good.
I missed the b pawn, but at the same time I really wanted the castle. That was kind of like priority number one.
Right. I mean, it ends up working out, right? Maybe c3 is better to start with this one, and then you can castle, and there's no real threat.
There wasn't anything immediate that.
Yeah, black is not threatening anything. Exactly. Right. So this might be actually something to kind of focus on, is recognizing when the opponent actually has a threat or not, because you actually do the same thing right here. You play h3, which I understand why you're trying to like mess with the pin, but black has no threat on your knight. Your knight is supported. So h3 is not necessarily a move you need to make here. You can take on b7, for example, right away, get one of your pawns back. You can go rook e1, you can go queen e2. You actually have a lot more useful moves than h3 in this position. So to me, it actually kind of feels like a little bit of a loss on time.
I was almost afraid of like the e pawn moving up.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, but it's a long ways away, right? So let's say
I know, but still,
e5, and there's still no threat. e4, you just take it.
Yeah.
And you're even threatening to take the rook with check. So it's like, let's say, okay, you can even go rook e1, right? If you really need to, but yeah, basically, this is what we call a ghost, like seeing a ghost. It's like, oh, you see a move and it's like, it might be bad, but it's actually concretely, it's not working. You're in time to hold it, move by move. So, okay, then takes, and I'll be honest, I didn't see your next move here. So this was well spotted. I was like, oh no, b6, black defended the pawn.
All part of the
now
plan.
we're just 2 pawns down.
All part of the plan.
But all part of the plan. Very good. Very nice trap. Honestly, I mean, pretty ingenious. Okay, black should have played either queen c8, defend this way, or I would say just kind of like developing and just giving one pawn back, but getting everything out. Because black would still be up a pawn in the end, right? Because they took two.
Right. Well, I
But
liked that I was down a pawn, but I felt that my pieces had more activity, and
yeah, no, you have
I
some
felt that
competition.
was noticeable in the game, and that was actually another point of me playing h3. Was I was like, okay, black only really has two active pieces right now. Let's get rid of one of them.
What is this?
I don't know. I don't know if that's a wrong idea,
There's a baby.
but
Oh, okay.
I mean, it makes sense. I would just say it's like not really necessary. Like number one, your opponent might just take on their own, and then you don't like have to spend the move encouraging them.
okay.
So like I would say this move, like rook e1 or rook takes b7 again, these moves are just more useful for you.
Okay.
Because material is important, right? Like right now we're down 2 pawns. So if we have a chance to win one back, then we should try to do that. On h3, black could even play like bishop c8, just defending this one.
Wow, I did not see that move.
And then, I mean, you have some compensation for sure, but it's 2 pawns, so it's like it can get quite serious. And
Sure.
if we're not in time, like black will just develop knight c6, e5, right? And we won't have any compensation here if we don't really like. There's just one option. I think taking was fine, and then like queen c8, for example, and black is okay. But well, okay, but then the tactics, I mean, you just spotted instantly. So that was good. And then from here, I mean, just like rook b3 is great, just like activating your rook. Queen b7 here.
So I was actually debating. I was actually going to move the rook first, and I was like, no, I think pitting that pawn was crucial to what's going to happen next.
Right, because rook b3, yeah, maybe like c5 black would
Right.
play, I guess.
Right.
One thing I really like that you did is that your queen grabs material like in the corner, and you didn't just immediately like try to like pull your queen back because you're scared of it getting trapped or something. A lot of times it's stronger to just keep your queen active like you did, because it can put a lot of pressure, as it did in the game. Like this kind of pressure just won you the game here, and then black couldn't cope with all the threats. So
Was that a legit turn of the tide? Just that check, grab the rook thing? He was
Yeah, that
behind
was
up
it.
until then.
yeah, winning a rook usually is a pretty.
I
It's
think
not like catching the snitch, but it's pretty good.
Did we notice we had 2 people redeem private lessons so far on the stream?
Huge.
Aaron and then somebody else.
Pauly.
Yeah.
Huge, guys. You are now on our list, guys. We have all the redeems in the back end. So we have you. There's a little bit of a line, but you're in line now. If you want, you guys can send me a message on Discord just to confirm. What was wrong with queen takes a7? Nothing. You can take on a7 as well. I would say it's not a big deal. Whether we grab another pawn or not. The important thing is that we use our extra rook and we activate our pieces. So this is kind of what happened. Whether we take on a7 or not.
Actually, why didn't you take on a7, Scotty?
Material.
I think I don't know. I think I wanted the diagonal.
Oh, to defend the knight?
I think
Another defender on the knight?
I just wanted the diagonal. Yeah, like I wanted access to the diagonal. That's about it. That was actually part of the plan. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I probably should have taken.
Maybe it doesn't matter.
I think it doesn't matter in the long run, but I mean it's totally reasonable to just try to keep the queen active. Like, because it is, let's say, slightly offsides when you take on a7 compared to just keeping it here, but ultimately not a big deal. The important thing is you found queen d5 check. That's what won us the game.
This Rob Noor, man, he was feeling so good until that check game. And he dropped a rook.
Yeah. Well done, guys. 2-0 for the Bros.
Woohoo!
See, I told you, man, my openings are awful.
Rock and roll. Let's go.
No, opening was fine. Opening was fine. I'd say like more like early middle game, late opening. Let's say that was where things
Sure.
went a little bit rocky. But good stuff, guys. So I guess we should be wrapping it up now. But
Okay.
you all have a plan for how you're gonna work next couple of weeks.
We do.
Mhm.
Gonna be doing, some puzzles and some more rapid games. Hopefully working together.
Mhm.
I would advise you guys to actually different things. So for Charlie, I would say your homework, try to do some puzzles every day. And as best as you can, try to be visualizing the full solution right before you make that first move on chess.com. So you really got to be disciplined with that.
Mhm.
Scott, for you, I think you have to play a lot. You just have to practice playing because I feel like, yeah, your tactics are like way above your rapid rating, which probably means you're underrated. But there's no real what am I
Substitute.
trying to say? No real substitution for just a live game. You know,
Sure.
it's like
I'm
that's
with you.
that's just what you gotta train. If you want to play on stream, that's totally cool.
All right.
Instead of running a blitz arena, you could run a rapid arena and participate yourself.
Okay. Yeah, that
Um,
sounds like fun.
or just screw the arena, just play games and people will watch and help you
Yeah.
illegally.
Well, I can get like we talked about. I can get I can do an account for us, and we can just let chess.com know that we're going to be cheating.
Oh,
Well, it's hands and
yeah,
brains and
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
talking with chat and like yeah.
Yeah, I think we can get you a stream account. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
cheating is a little too much
A
of a
little,
word,
little
but
strong.
like I'm not using an engine.
Right, right.
You do train a lot though, Scotty. We trained a lot like
Yeah.
last year, and you help out your other buddies. Like you're engaged in the chess community. You just don't do a lot of rated rapid games yourself.
No, no, I just play on an analysis board a lot and OTB some.
Yeah, but as I was saying, yeah, during your game, like while you're playing, you need to develop some of those like hand-to-hand combat skills, like because chess is obviously more than just the puzzles. It's like you have to come up with a plan, you
Sure.
have to defend, right? Like in Charlie's game, there's very few tactics. His opponent made an unsound sacrifice, and you just had to defend and like fight against the threats, and that's something that's again very difficult to practice outside of a game context. So this is where we really have to build up that experience.
Yeah.
And your rating can fluctuate, up and down. It doesn't matter, right? Because your long-term goal is 1700. So whether you're like 1200 next week or you're 1100 next week, as far as your long-term goals, it doesn't matter one way or the other. It's all about just like getting the practice in. And once you've like done a consistent amount of work, eventually your rating will kind of shoot up and follow.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you
All right,
for
guys.
your coaching today, for
Absolutely.
all the things today. Really appreciate it.
Any questions?
No questions from me. The only thing. Oh no, nothing for you. Yeah.
I don't have any questions. I'm just excited to keep going. We're going to be doing this same time, basically once a week, and we'll have Kostya, or if not, another sensei come in. It seems like once a month or so. And we have things to share with the chat, things that you can join in with us. We have a reflection tool, and we'll let you even have a copy so you can use it
Yeah.
on your own to help monitor your progress and document things that you need to improve on, so you have more of a legit practice and session and goals that you're trying to do instead of just blindly spamming whatever you're doing. It will help you grow faster.
Yeah.
I only know that from education, from being a teacher, which applies to chess as well.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that next week. I think Kostya probably once they get out of here, has a busy day ahead.
Oh, yeah.
But that being said, just a couple of quick things, everyone in chat.
Meow.
That's
What
the
was that? I thought I heard a cat. I'm just kidding.
That's the classical. Jesus. That's the classical tournament information. If you're not signed up and you want to sign up, make sure you do that. We're running both an unverified and verified section. feel free to send me a Discord message if you have any questions on that. And this is information about the Battle League. Sign up for that. Kosi, do you want to pitch that even more?
Yeah, well, we're taking place in a very exciting Summer Chess Invitational with a bunch of other huge streamers. So it's going to be a sub battle league, meaning we'll be doing a weekly sub battle. Our first one is scheduled for this Sunday at 1 p.m. against the Chess Bros. So we currently have a sign up sheet going for our Twitch subs. If you are a sub to our Twitch channel, join the Discord, connect your Discord and your Twitch. You'll get the Twitch subscriber role. And then there's a private channel for Twitch subs where we've posted the sign up sheet where you can sign up to play the match. It's going to be 12 boards, different rating brackets. So we're going to have to choose players for each bracket. That's right, 1 p.m. Pacific time this Sunday for.
You just said the Chess Bros?
Yeah,
that's right.
We're playing against them next week.
I think I know those dudes. They have the horse and the
This Sunday. Yeah, with the horse.
forever young hair and all the drama in the past. Wow. Yeah.
Exactly right. It's gonna be the Bros versus the Bros. The Dojo.
Yeah, but we got strong females here too. So it's just bros because Scotty and I identify as males.
You
So,
guys are the Bros.
yes.
The Super Dojo Bros. Last thing we'll plug is the chapters. If you guys want to play for an official team representing your country, we have a Team USA, Team Canada, Team UK, Team Europe, Team Asia, Team Africa, Team Latin America. Sign up using the Google Doc below. All the info is in the Discord. That's where the channels are. And we have info for tournaments, and we're going to be doing more team matches that will be streamed on the channel as well. So you'll have a chance to play on the channel, play for your team. Yeah, so make sure to sign up for one of those if you're interested in joining your region.
Is there a Middle East chapter?
Not yet, but there definitely could be.
Yo, Katya Tank, man. We should make it. My buddy Mohammed, Chesstock. It'd be overpowered. OP.
Cartier, he's one of the captains for Team Europe.
And he hasn't contacted me. I thought I established this relationship. Yo, who just shut me up? Scotty.
No. My wife was calling, and I can't pick up because we're yeah.
Dora, I know you're Middle East. I believe you're from. Oh, actually, I can say this country's name now. Israel. For a while, I wasn't allowed to say it because I lived in Saudi Arabia, and it's like illegal to say it there.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right, guys. I guess we'll be signing off.
Who do we want to raid? Anyone?
Let's see. Who's live?
Yeah, you can't have the flag in the school grounds or anything. In an international school, it was weird to like at least being able to not to talk honestly and just like open-minded about things. You weren't allowed to even acknowledge the place.
Here, let's raid Mari Chess. I think we raided them recently. Looks like she's doing some kind of puzzle streak.
Are you doing it or am I?
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
All right, cool. Oh, there it is. I didn't Mari. Okay, no E.
You guys free channel points when you follow raid. If you didn't know that,
Well,
it's like 200.
that's cool.
Not that they need like 20 more people redeeming 100 channels.
All right, but thank you everyone for joining in. See you next week. I'll be here on Friday night doing another blitz. We're gonna do 3-2, so we can train more for Sunday.
Cool. All right, guys.
Thank you all.
See ya.
Take care.
Cheers.